All right, so today we are doing inequality word problems. So this first top part here has the 4 symbols. I'm going to write all the words for each one. So if you need to pause this and copy them down if you run out of time, that's fine, but I'm going to go ahead and write all of them down. Okay, so if you need to pause this and work on those, copying them down, that's fine. I'm moving on down to the bottom. So I'll do a couple of these. So number 1, there are no more than 12 dogs to the pound. No more than, if you look up at your chart, you see, okay, that's less than or equal to. I have my 12, and then I'm going to use the letter D for dogs. So the number of dogs is less than or equal to 12. All right, the number 2, I have at least. At least, if you look up at your chart, should be greater than or equal to 6. And I'll use P for pencils. All right, turn your page over. Backside now, these are a little bit more tricky word problems. So there's 3 types of word problems. So I'm going to do 1, 3, and 4 on the back here, one of each. So number 1, Keith has $500 in savings in the beginning of summer. He wants to have at least $200 in the account by the end. He withdraws $25 each week for food, clothes, and movie tickets. Okay, so first thing you want to do is just define your variable. So something equals number of whatever time you're talking about. So it says each week. So I'm going to say W equals the number of weeks. Okay, so then I'm going to write my inequality. So I have to figure out what number I'm starting with. Like, what does he have to begin with? So I have $500. All right, and then I have to figure out how much he's paying per week for that W. So we look and see, okay, $25 per week. So I'll put that here. And he wants $200 at the end of summer. So I'll put that over here. Now I have to figure out what symbols go in between. So at least, okay, so he wants, 200 or more. So I'm going to have greater than or equal to. Then this is where, this one's a little tricky. It's saying he's withdrawing $25 each week. So that means he's subtracting. He's spending that money. It's going away. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and solve this. So I'll subtract 500 from both sides. So I have negative 25W is greater than or equal to negative 300. Then I'll divide both sides by negative 25. When I divide by negative, I have to flip my sign. So make sure you do that. So I have negative 300 divided by negative 25 is 12. So I'm going to put weeks after here, your number here. So how many weeks can Keith withdraw money from his account? At most, 12 weeks. After that, he will not have $200 left in his account. All right, number 2 is similar setup to number 1. So I'm going to skip it. Let's do number 3. A school's doing a used shoe fundraiser. They want to collect at least 200 pairs of shoes. During week 1, the school collected 60 pairs. During week 2, the school collected 70. Okay, so we see here week 1, there was 60. Week 2, there was 70. So I'm going to make a little table here. So week 1 was 60. Week 2 was 70. So if I read down below, how many shoes can the schools collect in the 3rd week? That's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find like what that X value is. Okay, so this is different setup than number 1. I need to add up all 3 numbers in this table, and they're going to have to be greater than or equal to 200. So 60 plus 70 plus X. I have here at least, so that's my greater than or equal to 200. Then I combine like terms. So 60 plus 70 is 30 plus X. Because I'm trying to figure out how many shoes we need to collect in the 3rd week. So subtract. So I have X is greater than or equal to 70 shoes. So we need to collect at least 70 shoes. So make sure you have your label on your answers so it's clear that you know what's going on. All right, number 4, last one. Susie wants to make a large rectangular sign for a school fundraiser. As soon as I see large rectangular sign, I'm going to draw a large rectangle. So the length she's saying is 28 inches. So I'll put 28 here and 28 across because those two are equal. She wants to add a border around the sign, but can use no more than 100 inches. So she wants to, like, say, put ribbon around this whole thing, but it can't be any more than 100 inches long. So what are the possible widths of the sign? So we're trying to find this and this. They're both the same, so I'm going to use the same letter because they're directly across from each other of a rectangle. Okay, so this whole red line can only be 100 at the most. So I'm going to add up these 4. So I have X plus 28 plus X plus 28, and it has to be less than or equal to 100 or no more than. It's giving me that less than or equal to sign. Okay, so then combine like terms. So combine your X's, combine your numbers. So 2X plus 56 is less than or equal to 100. Oopsies, sorry. Running out of room here. Okay, so minus 56 on both sides. I'm going to work over here now. So I'm left with 2X is less than or equal to 44. Divide by 2. So X is less than or equal to 22 inches. Okay, so each width has to be less than or equal to 22. But we can't have any negative widths of a poster. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to add here. It also has to be greater than or equal to 0. So meaning like, okay, it has to be a positive number that's less than or equal to 22, but also greater than or equal to 0. This fancy thing here is, it's called a compound inequality, but we're just saying it has to be a positive number. Okay, and that is all for the inequality or the application notes today.